Fantasy books are probably the most popular genre at Cromaine Library, so we have a ton of really awesome fantasy books in the collection. Here are some of the ones that are absolute best of the best. I have been book talking this series for years, and I am so excited. It is finally having its moment. It was actually ranked number 3 in the most checked out books in the Tween collection. It's called The False Prince, and it's written by Jennifer Nielsen, who has a ton of other really awesome stuff. She has a World War II series. She has another fantasy series in teen. That's awesome. But this is the one to get started with this author. So in The False Prince, 4 boys are taken from orphanages, and they're told that the queen, king, and the reigning prince were all murdered. So this guy who took them is trying to pass off these orphans as this prince that went missing years ago. And it is a cutthroat battle for the position. This is an awesome fantasy series and is highly, highly recommended if you like something that's really fast-paced and action-packed. Graceling is another perennial favorite of mine, also to make the top 10 book series in the teen room. This one is about a girl who lives in a world where people are given talents, and these talents are called graces. Our main character is graced with killing. Her talent is killing, and she is used by her uncle, the king, as his own personal weapon. This is about her struggle to free herself from the king's influence and to create her own destiny where she can use her grace for good.
My name is Sarah Fletcher, and I recommend that you read the book series Miss Peregrines Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. It is the story of a boy who is trying to figure out who his grandfather was in his life, and along the way he meets some friends and learns that he is not so different from his grandfather and who he was. I recommend that you read this book and series because I picked it up in middle school thinking it was horror and being all quirky, and then it blossomed into one of my favorite book series, and I can never put it down. It's just amazing.
Aragon is a classic fantasy series. This is like the ultimate dragon series. When you're done with Wings of Fire, when you're done with Dragon Watch, definitely your next book series is going to be Aragon. And this series, not many people know, was actually written by a teenager. So this is a really cool book series for aspiring authors as well. But it is hardcore dragon fantasy for those of you that are into that. Three Dark Crowns is really as dark a fantasy series as the name implies. It's about 3 sisters who all have to compete for the crown. They're each raised by a different group that has a different sort of power or magic. And only one of the sisters can get the crown. And the way that she does that is by killing the other 2. This is a creepy series that's perfect for those who like darker fantasies.
Hi, I'm Ashlyn, and the book that I'm recommending is called Where the Mountain Meets the Moon by Graceling. This book is about a girl whose parents work all day and barely have enough food to feed themselves. So while her father is telling her a story about a person who can change fortunes, she decides that she's going to go try to find this person and see if they can help her family. I love this book because it includes characters from real Chinese mythology. So while you're reading this book, you'll get like little stories in it about real characters in Chinese legend.
Shadow and Bone is the story about a girl who discovers that she is one of the most powerful people ever to live, and she does not really want that kind of power. This story has a lot of those classic fantasy elements, and it also has a really interesting love triangle. So if you like that in your fantasy books, this is your next series to read. For more awesome book suggestions, go to www.cromaine.org. That's the Cromaine Library website, or check out the Teen Blog, which has tons and tons more reading recommendations. This has been Carolyn from Cromaine Library. Happy reading, and thank you so much for watching.